When we have anxiety, we tend to be quite down on ourselves. We tend to blame ourselves and think, well, why can't I do this? And I should be able to do this, and other people can do this and manage it. And one of the kind of effects of that is when we take action to deal with it, when we sort of think, well, okay, I'm really scared about doing this particular thing, we then sort of think, well, I just have to be able to do that. And we want to jump straight to solving the entire problem. The disadvantage of that is that that big step it feels too much. So either you then don't do it, or you sort of do it, but it feels so awful, or you kind of somehow fail. And then that just sort of reconfirms to you that, oh no, I can't do this, I can't manage this, I can't deal with it. So it's really important when dealing with anxiety to break things down into small steps, like the smallest steps possible, really. A good example is that, if somebody's unfit, then, they're not going to go and run a marathon, and they're not going to go and sort of swim for miles and miles. What that person has to do is to go gradually. So start with the very smallest of steps, build up their muscles, and start by just going for a walk and then walking further and walking faster, and gradually build up their strength. And it's very much the same with anxiety and building resilience. Resilience is very much like building muscle strength. So you start with the smallest step that you can almost imagine, and that can feel a bit dissatisfying, but it's really important. You start with the smallest step you can kind of imagine, and then you build confidence because you can achieve it. It's workable, and you gradually build your confidence, and you take the next step and the next step until eventually over time you get to where you want to be. For example, someone who is really anxious about leaving the house may think, you know what, I need to be like everyone else, and actually it's just really stupid, and I just need to leave the house and go into town and sit in a cafe. And that might be actually what they want to do, but if they went straight to do that, it's just too much. They probably wouldn't do it in the first place, and actually if they did, it would be such a horrible experience. It would sort of reconfirm that they can't manage. So instead, that person would need to really look at how they could break it down into the smallest steps. That might look like, okay, so I feel really scared going out of the front door. So I'm going to open the front door and have the front door open for as long as I possibly can. I'm going to feel anxious, because this is not about not feeling anxious. This is about building up your resilience. Feeling anxious, getting through it, and knowing that you're okay. So that person may have the front door open for 5 minutes, and then the anxiety gets too much, so then they close the front door, but they've been anxious for a while, so it's an achievement. That's a good thing. And so the next time they might go for 7 minutes or 10 minutes. Gradually, as they get used to having the front door open, then the next step might be, well, I'm going to stand at the front door with the door open. They might build up the time with having the front door open and them standing there. The step after that might be, well, they're going to step out of the front door. After that, it might be, well, they're just going to sit on the front step for a little while. Each time, this person that feels really trapped in the house and was telling themselves that they couldn't do it, each time they achieve that little step, and it may not feel that it's very big to them, and they may still think, but I should still be able to do that thing over there, I should still be able to go in town and sit in a cafe. But each time they do that, they're building up their strength, they're confirming to themselves that actually they can manage that thing, and then they can manage the next thing, and they can manage the next thing. This sort of work is really about the direction of movement. So when we avoid things or create safety behaviours, then we're kind of working backwards and we're kind of reducing our life. Whereas this is about expanding, it's about moving forward, choosing that direction. And you might be going on it slowly. So you're not making a big leap, but equally when you go on it slowly, you literally, like that person that was unfit and needs to build up their muscle strength by exercising, you literally are taking one step at a time, building up your strength, building up your confidence, building up your resilience, and moving in the right direction. And this is a much better way of working towards conquering anxiety. Leanne is now going to take you through a behavioural experiment to help you work out how to use this and get you moving in the right direction.